All right, we have another contender in the battle for lightweight supremacy when it comes to single axle family travel trailers. This right here is the 2025 Transcend ONE 151BH. There did some things that I really like, a few things that I didn't, but let's jump into it. We can kind of talk about it as we go through. The first one, and I think they knocked it out of the park here, is going to be the kitchen. A lot of times in these layouts, you just don't have a lot of kitchen countertop space. And man, oh man, they did a fantastic job giving you all of this prep space right over here. Now, how did they accomplish that? Well, essentially what they did is they kind of took out this section, right? What a lot of other manufacturers do is they have the furnace over here and they raise the fridge up. So this whole section is taken up. So what you lose is a little bit of storage right down here, but you gain all this countertop space. And for me, I think that's going to be worth it. Something else I like they did, and Grand Design is really good at this in general, is just giving you things like paper towel holders, right? What a convenient thing to have. You also have an electrical outlet there. Again, excellent placement. This is a pressed countertop, by the way, which a lot of times we're talking single axle, they're going to be price sensitive units. This is a nice countertop to have at this price point. You also see the recessed 2-burner cooktop, the single undermount stainless steel bowls. You have a pressed countertop, you can undermount, then just your standard faucet there. And then you have storage up above as well. I like that they put a shelf in there, makes it a lot more usable for, cups, plates, bowls, all that. Microwave going to be right over to the side. Also, as we go through this, if you are interested in price and availability, there will be a link in the description. So feel free to click into that and it'll take you to the product nearest you. You'll also see underneath the sink, again, even though there's not quite as much storage, there is a little bit there. Not enough for a trash can, which again is probably the big trade-off for getting all this countertop space, but still not bad. This one does have a furnace. Again, a lot of these lightweight single axles that are this layout don't have a furnace. They'll just have like a fireplace or some kind of auxiliary heat. So this one will let you camp in a little bit in the colder seasons. You'll see the drawers here are full extension, magnetic catches on there as well. And then the fridge is going to be right down here in the corner. With that, one of the things I will say is this one does have solar prep, so as well as inverter prep. So if you do want that, it is something you can install. I believe it's up to 600 watts, which is pretty darn impressive. Right over to this side here are going to be your bunks. As far as size, I'll go ahead and slip in here just to show you. Oh boy. So at 6 foot, you can see I can't extend all the way out. So this is definitely going to be for kiddos, probably not ideal for adults, just because, again, it is going to be a little cramped in there. What I do like that they did, though, is they gave you 2 big drawers right down below. So fantastic for clothes storage. That's something that is oftentimes missing when you have bunks. So I think that was definitely a home run. You also see electrical outlets as well as USB ports there. Thermostat is going to be right here. This, of course, being for the furnace. There is a roof-mounted AC, but we'll take a look at that in just a moment. Coming into the bathroom, pretty good bathroom space here. Plastic bowl, as again you would expect at this price point, but really good shoulder space, good leg space here too. I like this. This was smart. Putting a couple shelves in here, an electrical outlet. I was making a joke with Aaron, the guy holding the camera here a little bit ago, just saying that with that, I can plug my phone in. My wife will be mad because I'll never leave. Like that's the limiting factor to my bathroom time. Stepping into the shower, again, this is one of the things I always look at when we get into the single axles is, can I stand up in the shower? And here I am definitely maxing it out. So if I'm showering, I am going to have to be bent down in this one unless I'm standing right underneath here. So at 6 foot tall, it does limit the shower. So just kind of bear that in mind as well. Making our way back out, this is something else that they definitely changed on this one. I don't know. I love the extra seating of having the sofa, but this is a family model. And for me, I'm a dinette guy when it comes to the family. I want to be able to comfortably sit and have meals together. I want to be able to play games together. And yes, I understand there's a table you can pull out and set up. And that's great if it's just for a couple. If it's just my wife and I, perfect. But when I have the family, I don't know. I want the dinette. I want it a little more intimate. What do you think? Would you prefer having the more comfortable seating, or would you, kind of be like me where you prefer having that dinette, that designated spot to be able to play games? Let me know in the comments. We can talk through it. Again, you can see the table there that does pull out. The nice thing about that is you can take it outside, so you basically always have a picnic table with you, which is kind of cool. And because this is a jackknife, this drops down into a bed. Again, not a huge bed, but it will do the trick. And then you can see some additional storage right down underneath. Again, if I lay on here, I just kind of want to show you. I mean, at 6 foot, once again, right? Like just not gonna work for me, but it will do a good job for a kiddo. You also see a window there, some outlets. There is storage right up top here as well. You know, is small campers like this, I always want to highlight storage because it's always at a premium. And then, as I mentioned earlier, this one does have the roof-mounted AC. You can see that right up top here. It's just going to be, you know, essentially a direct vent, but that's fine. That's all you really need. And then what they've done for storage in the kind of bedroom area up front here is a little interesting. You know, a lot of, again, this floor plan will have like a wardrobe a lot of times. But instead, they just went with like a shelf all the way across the top. I personally would rather have a wardrobe just because I do want to have some space to be able to hang up clothes. But what they did instead is they kind of give you like this headboard / foot locker, depending on which way you're getting in bed. And then you have the storage underneath the bed. So they do have a lot of storage under there, which makes it a little bit kind of easier to access. I like that for dirty clothes. But again, just not super great storage options for clothes. But what I really do like is this right here, which is a spot to put shoes. That is something that is oftentimes missing in a floor plan like this. So again, kind of, you know, having some of those trade-offs. You'll have electrical outlets, USB ports, and then a spot to mount the TV right in here. So again, I think there's a lot of things they did really good inside, a few things they didn't. There's also some things that I really like they did outside. So let's go check those out. All right, let's take a look at some of the outside features on the 2025 Transcend ONE 151BH. Starting off right up front, you do just have a standard jack here. This is probably one of the first things I would change personally is, you know, just buy a power tongue jack, put it in there, just to make it a little bit easier to hook up, disconnect from your tow vehicle. Behind that, though, you will see a propane tank as well as rails there for the battery. See, this one has the battery and box right there. Coming up the front, you have the rock guard right here, as well as the smooth aluminum front, which I always like when manufacturers do this. Not only because it looks nicer, which it definitely does, but also it's just easier to keep clean, and seeing as how all the bugs are going to be smashed on here when you're going down the road, that is a good thing. Coming around to the side, let's open up the pass-through. You'll see that it does have magnetic catches, which I like. It is nice and open as well. And when we get to the other side over there, I want to show you, they actually have one of the better setups for all of your hookups for a single axle, that, again, like that with this floor plan layout. Take a look up top. You can see the power awning with the LED light strip on there. I like the fact that it's just going to be like, you know, kind of like a nice clean white rather than being like a blue or something like that. I just think it's a much cleaner look. You will also see the tempered glass door. Again, this is something we normally don't see in this price point. In fact, you know, a lot of times there'll just be a door without even a window there just to save a little bit of money. This is going to be a really nice door. You'll also see that because it has the window, this one is thin shade ready. So what that essentially is you can buy a shade, so that way at night you have your privacy. But the thing I really like about this door is you really can't even tell there's a window because of the tint. Really cool. Underneath that, you get the solid steps, aluminum treads on there. The first one, of course, is going to be a bigger step. So that way as you or your doggo is coming in or out, you have a little bit bigger platform there. Fold-out grab handle. Again, you know, a lot of times just have a standard grab handle for this layout. So another great feature that they added on here. Speaking of doggos, not only do you have the dog dish inside the nice big step, but you also have this. So you have a place to tie up the puppers, which is really nice. Again, just one of those, you know, kind of small additions that they added that I think is just a nice touch. Your fresh tank fill will be located right there. Coming back a little bit further is going to be your TV hookup if you want TV outside. Speaking of hookup, underneath is a propane quick connect. So if you have a Blackstone or something, you can plug that in and be ripping bacon in the morning. Also underneath there, this one has a fully enclosed underbelly. So that way, help keep out some of the road grime and hopefully some of the critters in the off season as well. Another feature you just normally don't see on this layout is going to be an accessory receiver. I do like that that's there. Now, you know, it is a little bit smaller, so it's not going to be able to fit like a 4 bike rack or anything like that on there. But the fact they put it on there straight from the manufacturer is really nice. Take a look up top. You also see a couple preps. You have backup camera prep as well as the ladder prep. And coming around to the side again, you know, all these little things cost a little bit extra, but things like this, take a look at that. That is huge outside storage. I love that they were able to fit that in there. You know, again, I've never seen that on another floor plan like this, so a lot of kudos to Transcend ONE for that. You'll have a 30-amp detachable power cord right here. You also have a black tank flush. And again, that's one of those convenience features that are on a lot of bigger RVs, not on a lot of smaller, but it is great for rinsing out the black tank. You also see this one has a standard water heater. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Do you prefer standard? Do you want Tankless, you know, a lot of manufacturers are going to tankless. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer, because I'm personally curious. I've heard arguments for both. And then, as I was talking about, right here is basically the rest of your hookups. You have your convenience center. I love, love, love that they have this here. Something else that I thought was pretty cool was underneath the bed. It actually shows you how to winterize this unit and how to bypass the water heater. That's something else I think they did a really good job on. As I mentioned earlier, if you are interested in this one, you want to know price and availability, there will be a link in the description. Thanks for watching. I'm Ian Baker. Until next time, we'll see you.